This also from CBSSports.com. 5 AFC head coaches under the most pressure in 2023. They're ranked from 1 to 5. Number 1, Josh McDaniels, Las Vegas. Number 2, Brandon Staley from the Chargers. 3 is Kevin Stefanski from the Browns. 4, they say Bill Belichick from New England. And 5, Robert Saleh from the New York Jets. Their rationale, it looked like Stefanski was the head coach the Browns were waiting for after he went 11-5, took Cleveland to the playoffs in his first year. However, the Browns are 15-19 since. Stefanski, along with really the entire organization, is under pressure because of Deshaun Watson, too. A couple of things about that. There is only pressure when there are expectations. So there's pressure for Brandon Staley because he made it to the playoffs and didn't win. There's pressure for Robert Saleh because he has Aaron Rodgers. There's pressure for Kevin Stefanski because he has Deshaun Watson. The 15-19 since that first year, well, let's see. Your starting quarterback, Baker Mayfield, played with a busted-up, non-throwing shoulder, and you had a backup quarterback in Jacoby Brissett who started the first 11 games. Quarterback play matters. That's why Brandon Staley's under pressure. That's why they traded what they traded to get Aaron Rodgers, who's 40-something years old. Yeah, he's under pressure, but I'd rather have a 27-year-old starting quarterback than a 42-year-old starting quarterback.
Yeah, it's just the weight of expectations. You know, when anytime an organization sells the farm to go get a player, especially a quarterback, that automatically places pressure on the coach. You didn't make that move to stay the same. You made it to do better, you know, and especially if you get someone who was viewed as previously being elite, you need to see that coach match that, you know what I mean, and make this thing, the trajectory needs to go up. So, yeah, there's pressure on him, but I think that's from the outside. From the inside, he's got to worry about wins, man. It's just week over week. You just got to keep stacking, keep your head down, trust your process. If you have a good process, over time you'll have good results. You know, that's just what it is. So barring some crazy injury, you know, I mean, the expectation is to win. And if those expectations aren't met, then there will be consequences. We saw this play out last year in Denver, where you had a head coach, Nathaniel Hackett, who was brought there to lure a different quarterback in. When that didn't work, they threw everything at Russell Wilson, got him there. What happened? It didn't go well. Well, they weren't going to move on from Russell Wilson, you know, they're going to move on from Nathaniel Hackett. Stefanski's kind of in that position this year, you know, but I think everything's in place that if it doesn't go well, there needs to be questions asked. But I also think the expectation is for them to win. So you just need to meet the expectation.
The other thing is you know, a lot's made of the whole Deshaun Watson acquisition. Keep in mind, the guy's 27. A 3-time Pro Bowl quarterback in the NFL who is that young doesn't become available very often, if ever.
No, it never happens. That's the reason they move mountains to get him, is because that scenario doesn't present itself. So when it did, they went all in. They pushed all the chips in the middle of the table because the goal is to win the Super Bowl. How do you do that? Well, you got to stack your team with premier position talent. And there's not a more important position in all professional sports than your quarterback. So it makes sense to go all in at that position. And if you believe you have everything in place, you make that move 10 times out of 10.